Hey, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Let's see if I can edit something here real quick. Hold on one second, folks. I'm guessing I can't do what I want to do at this point in time. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to switch something around here. See if this works or not. Can everybody hear me out there? Give me a number one if you can hear me. All right, number ones. All right, everybody can hear me. I got some new equipment and some new stuff here, and I'm just trying to get this all to work. And I'll have to work on it later. My signs are backwards. I don't know why it's doing that, but who knows? It's like everything is flipped here. But anyways, how's everybody out there doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well, and I hope everybody is being prepared for the upcoming storms that are going to be rolling in. Now let me scroll back up through here and see who is here real quick. Justice is here. JT, thank you, JT, for being here. Coffee first and speak. Nice to see you. Snakebite, Brenda, how you doing? All right, it just jumped on me real quick. Let me get back up here. Immortal, till proven otherwise. How you doing? Vicky, how are you? Karen, BSC, Liz, how you doing? Jamie, how are you? Scrolling through. I want to catch everybody here real quick. All right, Miss P, Kitty 13 is here. Carrie Booth is here. Michael O'Brien, thank you for joining in. Sandy Crabtree is here. Missy 101472, how are you? Nice to see you here. Vicky, Deborah Stanley, Southwest Virginia. Bob R, how you doing, Bob? I'm glad you made it. All right, scroll on down through. Mary Monk, Amy says so. How you doing from Virginia? Let's see who else is in here. Leah, Daniel. Daniel's here from Palm Springs, California. How you doing, Daniel? Judy Zims, Jasamir Farm Stetter. I'm sorry, it's kind of off to the side here. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining in. Patty Johnson, Pitbull's here. How you doing, Pitbull? Kimberly Shermant. Let me just keep going down through here. If I miss somebody, I'm sorry. This thing just keeps jumping as there's more people jumping in here. Michael's here. Robin in VA. Sarah Angel. Mama J. Chris is here from Ohio. Daniel, take your time. Just got my coffee. All right. Brenda's here from Florida. There's a lot of Florida people on here. Let's see here. I think I got all these. Desiree, how you doing, Desiree? Heather Flood, Deborah Stanley, Vernon Gordon, All right, you people are great. I'm telling you. Thank you for taking time. Rakamas is here. How you doing, Rakamas? Holly's here from Central Indiana. That was my home state. Michael's from Oklahoma, Carrera. Fluffy Otter's here. Terry's here from Texas. Fluffy Otter's from Florida. Desiree, Idaho. Ooh. Jan's from Quebec, Canada. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining in. Amy King's from Indiana. Baby Doc 2019's from Indiana. Oh, we got some people from Indiana in here tonight, too. Solar's here. Anita, Reality TV. Chad's here from Ohio. Annette's from Texas. All right, you folks are just rolling in here. Toby from Puerto Rico. Nice to see you, Toby. Mama's Homestead and Preparedness. How are you? The Texas Hill Country. John's here. See anybody else joining in here? What do we got? We'll give this a couple more minutes and see if a few more people jump in. Brian Nelson. All right. He's watching from a hotel in Nebraska, and he's originally from Michigan. Well, thanks for joining in. AC is here from Indiana. Carrie Rose from Tennessee. Another person from Indiana, Kevin. Mary Walsh is here. Midnight Man from Texas. Christina. Colorado Pack Rat Pet Preppers here. Jennifer from Texas. So we got some Texas people, Indiana, Florida, Canada, from all over the place. California. You people just keep rolling in here. Some rude dude. Forrest from Idaho. Linda's from Idaho. Holly, hello, fellow Hoosiers. Yes. My mother actually worked for IU years ago. I grew up Bloomington, Martinsville, Morrisville, Greenwood, that area. Brian Nelson. Oh, she just jumped again. Let me see if I can back up. Inessa Gomez from California. Kenny from Louisiana. Cooking for One, Minnesota. There's my first Minnesota one. AC, IU rocks. We need Bobby back. Yes. Yes, I totally, definitely do agree. Brett Henderson's here. Mo's here. Anywhere Ron Forrest, prepping fiction author, checking in from Alabama. Faith Jackson. Cooking for Two from Minnesota. There we go. Kid Crossland's here. Little Lone Preppers here. All right. All right, folks. We're going to get going here real quick. And we also are going to be announcing. I haven't seen the winner in here yet. I know the winner. So you'll got to stick around to the end to find out who's winning the Coleman stove, the 2-burner Coleman stove that is going to be sent out to the lucky winner, as long as they do reply within 48 hours to me through email and give me the information, so I can order that and send it off to you. And then if not, we'll be giving it away next Saturday night. But I'll put a post out there to let everybody know what's going on. There will also be another giveaway next weekend. and that one will be announced again on Friday. And very simple for you all to do, so you can enter, so you can win. Um, I do have my two little signs over here. For some reason, to me, they're showing backwards. And I don't know if that's through my camera system. I got a new camera also. Um, Once this one says survival is key, and this one over here says, this one right there says avoid the chaos. So today we are talking about um, food prices and how this is going to be affecting a lot of people. And there is a lot that goes into this, folks. There's a lot of stuff that's going down, and you're going to be blown away when I give you this information on some of these oil companies, which is really adding to what is taking place here. These food prices is going to start really affecting a lot of people, millions and millions and millions of people. And it's going to be affecting millions of kids also. We have to really think about this, folks. As a parent, your kids are getting out of school now, and your kids are going to be home. Do you have a job that's going to be able to um, supply the food that these kids are going to need on a daily basis because they're not at school anymore? There's a lot of parents out there, there's a lot of single parents out there that are struggling to just to put one meal on the table, maybe two, you know, and now they're going to have to add another meal into that whole equation that they're having to take on now with the kids getting out of school for summertime. Kids are growing, and they get hungry, they want snacks, all this kind of stuff. And it really, really gets really hard for a lot of parents. And this is going to be as these prices keep rising, and they're going to keep rising, folks. We haven't hit the end yet. This is we're in the very beginning of this total mess that we're in right now. And we're going to be striking um, a very big breaking point for a lot of people out here to not be able to afford to put food on the table, even though they're working a full-time job. I mean, even though that these things are going on, they're going out and they're busting their rear ends to put, a roof over their head and food and stuff on the table. And it's going to be really hard. And it's also going to affect another group of people in this country, and that's our senior citizens. All these people that are on Social Security and stuff, as these prices go up, a lot of senior citizens, once they pay you know, their basic utilities and, their rent or their mortgage and whatever else, they don't have a lot of money left. And these prices keeps rising. Every time I go to the store, everything it just keeps going up. The prices have changed. I did notice now Walmart, the Walmart store by me, finally flipped. Their chicken breast was $1.99 up to about 2 weeks ago. And last week when I went to the store, it was it 238, I believe. So, you know, everything's going up. It doesn't matter how big these companies are, it doesn't matter what they do or anything else. They have to raise the prices because it's just the nature of the beast. And this is the reason why. All right. Now, some of the inflation and stuff, the data up till March, the April hasn't been released yet. The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs increased 14% over a year ago, while beef rose over 16% over a year ago. And the World Food Bank forecast, the World Bank, all right, forecasts wheat prices will rise more than 40% in just this year alone. And what do you think that's going to do? And here is one of the biggest reasons why, and why, in a sense, it, nobody is trying to rein these people in and nobody's trying to stop what they're doing is just beyond me. Now, it has nothing to do with either if you're a Republican or if you're a Democrat or whatever side of the fence you may be on. Okay. These are these oil companies, and these oil companies are ruining this country just to put these profits into their pockets. And I'll wait until you hear some of these profits that these guys are putting into their pockets. And let's start right off with Shell. All right. This is just the first quarter numbers, folks. Okay. Just the first quarter of this year. 1/4 out of 4. 1/4. All right. Shell's earnings rose $9.1 billion. All right. This time last year, they were at 3.2 billion. So that's a 7.3 billion, income. All right. Now you have BP, record profits. This is all over the internet. It's right here. All right. BP, record profits, $6.2 billion in profits. More than doubling the 2.6 billion from the same period last year, the same quarter of last year. Last year at this time they made 2.6 billion. This year they made 6.2 billion. This is the problem, folks. Okay, these people are putting a lot of people in a really hurting way. I mean, they're really screwing with us American people over here. All right, because this isn't the fuel price. This is your diesel and all these. Okay, Exxon doubles its profits from last year, $5.48 billion. All right, now the big one, the one that they really should go after. I'm sorry, and they should do something to this company. All right, and it's the revenue for the Irving, the Texas-based company, for the first quarter of this year. You all sitting down? $90.5 billion. Compared to the quarter last year, same quarter, last year they took in $59.1 billion. Does anybody see a problem with this? $90.5 billion in 1 quarter. Do the math, folks. Chevron also reported a $6.2 billion profit. All right, that was over the same period of last year was a 1.4 billion. I mean, these people are they're killing us. Every one of these companies are reporting these massive, massive profits, and it's just getting ridiculous. And who is reining this in? Who's putting a stop to this? This diesel fuel prices, the higher it goes, folks, they said that by August, gas prices are going to be over $6 a gallon. And they're also now predicting that diesel fuel cost will be between $7.30 a gallon and $8 a gallon by August. Now, if that really does take place with everything that takes fuel, we're in a world of hurt. Your farm equipment uses diesel. Trucks that move all our goods use diesel. Trains use diesel. The ships, the cargo ships, they use diesel. Do you realize that it costs a cargo ship $133,000 a day just in diesel fuel? That's why our prices are so high, folks, and they're not going to start coming down. I talked about, what was taking place with Sam's last week in my video that I released last week on Sunday. And tomorrow's video is on what is taking place in all the other little stores and stuff that are that's going on. From Target, there is some information about Walmart, there's Sam's, there's T-Mobile, there's Cricket, all these different, your dollar stores, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, all these. I've got information. I deliver to all these places, folks. I see what's going on and I talk to them. I've been delivering to all these places for years. So you need to turn in and watch that video tomorrow. But what I'm trying to tell you is things are looking really good right now for a lot of the consumers. All right. People aren't seeing as many shortages and stuff anymore. People aren't seeing what they were seeing, 6 months ago. But back then, excuse me, back then, a lot of us were all talking about, all us YouTubers, that are on the kind of the same page. Okay, we're all talking about what is happening and what was coming and what was going to take place and everything that we talked about and trying to get people to start prepping then when you could still afford it to top up, top off your preps. Do whatever you had to do then because now we've priced people right out of prepping. And maybe that's the plan. That could be the plan, folks. I don't know. Who knows where this is going to go? We don't know where this is going to go. We don't know what's going to take place, and we don't know how or what the end result is going to be. We don't know what is going to happen with what's going on overseas, with the whole Russian Ukraine thing. We don't know where that's going to go. We have a lot of chaos going on in this country right now. We don't know where that's going to go either. We also don't know what's going to take place with the Chinese right on the Taiwan border. You see, we're all surrounded by all this kind of stuff. And all it takes is one little hiccup to throw a wrench in the whole thing. And the next thing you know, we're right back to square one. Do you realize that it's going to take, once they really start getting things rolling again in China? All right, folks. Now, China isn't completely open yet. Yes, they are starting to let people go back to work. They're starting to reopen the ports and stuff, but they're having issues of getting the products that they're shipping over here to the ports by trucks because they have to come in from all these other provinces. They have to come in, and these guys or women, I don't know which, they don't want to be going into some of these areas because they don't want to take a risk of getting stuck there if something happens, if you get what I'm saying, because we all seen what has been taking place. And a lot of people just don't want to drive in there. But even once they do finally get all this stuff moving again, they estimate that it's going to take 74 days from the time that they start to load the ships and start trying to get goods in there until that ship will reach its destination, which used to be a 30 to 45-day turnaround. There's 344 ships right now that are setting off the port over there in China, and they're just waiting. They have to be in, they have to get unloaded and then reloaded and then get back over here. So you can see where this can be a ripple effect coming down the road. And will this affect food products? A lot of people on my video last week, they kept saying, well, we don't get food from China. We don't get food from China. Well, you'd be surprised at what does come over here from China, folks. If you get on and do your own little homework, you'd be amazed. But also, you have to remember the number one thing that we need in this country for canned goods is tin, and we import tin from China. Just saying. I think it's really a key point of everybody is for their own survival and hopefully peace of mind and everything else that everybody needs to start a garden or start planting plants, and you can do them in pots and everything else. I have potatoes going right now. I haven't done the video and stuff yet. I did a video, showed you how I did them. I bought these these little bags and stuff. You can do them right on the back porch and everything else. Boom, they're going right now. I want to get some other things and stuff going. I have a thing with I want to make sure that people understand that you can do this even if you are in an apartment, townhome, condo. If you don't have a backyard, whatever it may be, I mean, you can plant some things and still grow some food. A lot of things you can get a lot out of, like lettuce, all of those type of things, carrots and radishes. Those things are all grow in pots and stuff very easy. The thing that's really hard to find is decent potting soil and also decent type of fertilizers. And if you do find them, they are quite expensive. I found a good bone meal that I put in with my potatoes, that I mixed in with all the dirt and stuff, and the soil that I did buy. And that box for, I think it's 2 pounds. I think it was like, I forget, 15, $20. It was expensive, you know, when you used to be able to buy that stuff for dirt cheap. Not anymore. Anything that's got the word fertile in front of it, they're charging you an arm and a leg for it, you know. But these food prices, they're really going to start hurting a lot of people this coming year, and this coming summer is going to be really rough on a lot of families, especially with kids. And I feel for them, because it's not like they're not working. It's not like they're sitting at home, twiddling their thumbs, playing video games and eating bonbons. They're not doing that. They're going out and going to work, but their rent or their mortgage is so high, and their car payments and insurance is going up. We just got notified the other day, our insurance is going up another $50 or something. It's like neither one of us had any accidents or tickets in God knows how many years, 20, 30 years, you know, but everything's going up. Every time, turn around, this is going up. Your phone bill goes up, your cable bill goes up. Everybody is increasing the price that they're charging, and they want us to pay even more than what we have to pay, especially all these oil companies, which I think that somebody should step in from the government and say enough is enough. I mean, they're posting these huge profits that are just ungodly. They're destroying this country right out from underneath us. And for what? For them to post a $90.5 billion profit in the first quarter. I mean, come on, folks, really think about this for a second here. These people are just driving us into the ground, and they got us. They got us by the cojones. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because for one, you have to have the gas to get to work to make the money. And for two, if you have heating oil, which has gone way up, heating oil is gone through the roof. So you have to have heat. If you don't have an alternate source like a wood stove or any of those type of things, you have to have something like that. Then you also have to turn around and you have to make sure that, you have your basic necessities that goes along with, maybe it's a gas stove you have, because all the gases are all going up. Propane, natural gas, electricity is going up. Everybody's raising rates. Everybody's on the bandwagon of charging more. There isn't nobody out there that's cutting any prices right now. Nobody. So if you don't get out much and you only go maybe to the store a couple of times in a month, prepare for some shell shock, because it is getting really, really nasty, and it's getting nasty really quick. And there isn't much at this point in time we can do. We are sitting back and we're along for the ride. And that's why it's so very important for people to be prepped and be ready. People comment all the time, well, I'm not gonna prep, and I don't believe in prepping, and I don't believe in this. Well, all it takes is one little incident in your life to really throw a wrench into your whole idea that you don't need to be prepped and ready. And let me give you a perfect example. What happens if you get in a car accident going to work? Not your fault. You're driving along, you have a green light. Some idiot coming the other way runs the red light and smashes into you. Now you're in the hospital. Now you got a broken leg or a broken shoulder, an arm. You can't go to work. What are you going to do? You see, if you were prepping, even if you had a 2 or 3 week supply of food, okay, we'll go basic minimum 2 or 3 weeks supply of food. That's 2 or 3 weeks that you may not have to worry about really buying a lot of food to have to feed your family. You may have to pick up maybe a gallon of milk or something here or there if you have kids or something like that. But the majority of your groceries you probably could survive on for those 2 or 3 weeks until you can figure something out. You see what I'm saying? So longer that you were prepped for, if you were prepped for a month, 2 months, 3 months, or more, that's just longer that you don't have to worry about how you're going to feed the people in your family, especially if you're the breadwinner in the family. Because let's face it, folks, I mean, in this day and age, all it takes is one small little incident, and there are so many crazy people out there, and there's so many idiots on the road driving, at least in my state. Uh, you know, um, it's you take a chance every time you walk out that door, and I drive all day long. I mean, it is what it is. The stuff I see, it's amazing that some people aren't killed. You know, I, it's just because people are in such a big hurry. Everybody's got to do 100 miles an hour on the interstate, and everybody is in such a big hurry to get nowhere. But back to the final thing on with this food. These food prices, as long as these fuel prices either hold or keep going up, the food prices are going to keep rising even more than what they're expecting for them to do. Mark my words. Because these companies aren't going to be paying, and they're not going to be like, oh, it's costing an extra $10 or something. We'll just eat that, don't worry about it. They're going to charge you 20 because they want to make a profit. So they're going to pay for the $10 and then just pocketed 20. Look what the oil companies are doing to us. When all reality, if you really think about it, if they put the prices back down to even 2.75, $3 a gallon nationwide, they'd still be turning a profit, and we wouldn't be paying such high prices at the gas pumps. We wouldn't be paying such high prices at the grocery stores. We wouldn't be paying such high prices for car parts, for furniture, for electronics, for refrigerators and washers and dryers. And this affects everything. The shirt on your back is going to start going up. And somebody needs to stop it. Somebody needs to step in and put a stop to this because it's getting out of control. Because all they're doing is ruining this country, this great country that we live in. That is all they're doing. And for what? Profits. To make sure that the shareholders and all the companies, from the oil companies to the grocery stores to the furniture stores to the hotel chains to whoever, as long as they are happy, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter if they're putting the little guy out of business. Doesn't matter if those kids are going to go hungry because the parents that are working two jobs can't afford the food from the grocery store. And it's only a matter of time before food banks start drying up because where are they going to get this from? Although, if they can get it from the stores, because if they can't sell it, maybe hopefully they'll donate it instead of throwing it in the trash can. That would be a crying shame, just to throw food in the trash can when you know people in your own community are going hungry. That's treason, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, folks. Nobody in this country should be going hungry. Nobody. We should be taking care of this country first, and we should be taking care of everybody in this country health wise. They should be taken care of if they make sure that they're fed, make sure they have a roof over their head. All these homeless people and stuff that are out there, they don't even have a fighting chance. But we're too worried about taking care of all these other countries, aren't we? What do you all think? For me to have these kind of conversations about this great country that I'm in, that I was born in, it breaks my heart. And I'm sure it does to a lot of you out there also. We shouldn't be doing this. we shouldn't be having these discussions about this country. And the sad thing is all these other countries are sitting back and they're just looking at us and laughing because we're destroying ourselves. Until something changes, what are we going to do? We're along for the ride. I just hope that you had listened years back when I started my channel. For all you people that's been here for a long time, I'm pretty sure all you've been prepping. But I've been saying this from day one. The storms are coming, and you got to start getting ready when you could afford it. So that's where I'm going to end that at. I'm going to jump over here because we got a lot of people on here, and it looks like I got some lot of people. All right, let me scroll back up through here. I think I got a couple of. I want to make sure I hit these and I don't forget them. Mini R WTR want some goji berry cuttings. Wow, those are good. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. I don't know how you give me the cuttings, but those would be really nice. Although down here is sand, and I don't know. Would they probably maybe grow good down here? Because my yard is totally, it's all sand. It's nothing but sand. This house was built on an old golf course, and this whole community, I should say, and it is. Oh Lord, let me just tell you, it's hard enough getting grass to grow. If you get what I'm saying. Snake bite, straight up. Well, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Once again, you guys, you don't have to do this, but all this money does go into this channel and to help make things better and for giveaways and everything else. I greatly do appreciate it. It helps out a lot. And I think there was one more. I just want to catch him before I forget. Marcus, thank you very much, Marcus. I moved from liberal insanity Seattle a year ago to a beautiful small town in North Dakota. Stocking up for a solid year now. I absolutely love your channel and advice. Thank you, brother. No, thank you. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, now let me get into the chat. Now, once again, folks, as usual, if you do have a question or something you want me to read off, make sure you put it in all caps, and I will do my best to get to them. I want to see where I left off. And I think I was right around here. Miss Bella says, was planning today, back porch growing. There you go. I mean, it's very simple to do. I mean, you can grow just about anything, well, within reason. I mean, I don't know if you're going to do corn on your back porch out of a pot, but I guess it could be possible. It just depends on how big your porch is, you know? Scroll down through here. Okay, Lorraine Weber says, you know, she lives in a townhome and she does container gardening on her patio. Yes, I mean, you could also look into those aero gardens and stuff, and you can grow some stuff inside also, you know, right on your counter. Um, I mean, it's a it's a really big thing out there. Let me scroll down through. Sheena's garden, me too, Vicky. I close off the rooms I don't use to keep the others cool. Yes, it's it's a good way to try to save electricity. Make sure you're, especially if you're down here in Florida. Yes, you can have blinds and things of that nature, but if you really want to cut them back, you know, put up some really good curtains if you can. anything to keep that heat, that light out, and it will make a huge difference, especially here in Florida. Uh, it's not called the Sunshine State for, let me tell you, summer's coming. The weatherman said yesterday, tomorrow kicks in our rainy season. We just got a rainstorm just before I came on live, and I'm glad it was done and over with because sometimes our internet might go out and come back in. So I was happy that that was over with. But we definitely need some rain. We had unfortunately, we did have a fire, not here, about less than a mile from where I'm at, a little over a mile, I think. It was a brush fire that started and it ended up burning 4 homes. That was a Friday. My wife was texting me pictures and let me know they started evacuating a couple neighborhoods over. And it was uh, from the pictures and stuff, from what she said, it was pretty gnarly. It was a bad situation. Some of these people lost everything. And I feel bad for them. All right, let me scroll down through. Toaster oven. I'm living in a vehicle now. I can't carry much. What would be the most important preps? Well, if you're living out of a vehicle, your most important preps would probably be, I would have to say, rice, water, and canned meats of some kind. Um, I mean, go to the store, whichever store that you do choose to use. Any type of canned meats. I mean, there's tons of them out there. You can get everything from pulled pork to spam to hams, um, all kinds of stuff. But at least if you had rice, water, and meat, you can survive with that. You know, you're going to have some way to cook. I don't know if you have that or not. If you do have some type of a stove or something, toaster oven, but that's definitely going to have to be a priority also. I mean, it could be a one burner um, stove that you can get at Walmart for $30. It can be propane, butane, um, whatever works for you, whatever you can afford. Mega K, I've been buying seeds on Amazon each week. Yes, in the description that is in this video and all my videos. If you guys do go to Survival Seed Garden there and you do order seeds off one of their seed packs, you save 10% in free shipping. It's still available. It's available all year. So it's something to remember, folks. Just go on there and you can order your seeds. Um, the If you go on there without clicking on the link, if you do go on there, the promo code is survival preparedness for beginners, all one word. That's the promo code. Rock 'em off. They are hurting us now. Yes, I totally agree. Blue collar prepper this coming weeks. James, I've harvested a few tomatoes today and waiting on my bush beans to harvest. There you go. Nice. Nakamas, my house insurance is going up also. Yes. Toaster oven. Well, I'm a single female, if that makes a difference. Well, it doesn't really make a difference, toaster oven, but you just want to make sure that, you know, you're going to have. I understand you're living out of your vehicle. I don't know if it's like van life or something like that, or if you're just living out of your vehicle. But you got to have some way to cook, boil water to purify it. If you don't have something like a Sawyer Mini, Walmart does sell those for $20. At least they used to be $20. I don't know if they went up to. I'm sure they did. And this way here, you can still have some stable food and stuff to travel with. Rice is a good one, and like I said, canned meats, canned potatoes would probably be a good one also. Don't forget the manual can opener. A lot of people forget that manual can opener, folks. All right, let me scroll down through. Snakebite says, yeah, my insurance went up also. It's just use the email about for the channel. All right. Kimberly Smith says, we have a garden every year. I would like to try growing wheat this year. Now, that would be really interesting to see how that turns out. I've never grown wheat. Grown a lot of things, but not wheat. And I'm on my 41. Hello, how you? Regina Sparks says, started some potatoes in buckets. I live in an apartment. Yep, that's what I have. I mean, I don't live in an apartment, but it's either that or I have to put in raised beds, and I didn't feel like really going through all that. So I did some research on these. They're they're like buckets. You guys will see the video here soon. And they actually have a pouch in the bottom. So when it comes time to harvest, it's not on the bottom, it's on the side towards the bottom. You can open it up and start pulling out your potatoes and stuff. And we'll see how it plays out. I've never really done a lot of gardening in planters. Um, I've done a lot of gardening, but never in planters. We always had a big garden. I always had a garden at my house up north. Um, I mean, we planted all kinds of stuff from corn, pumpkins, squash, all that kind of stuff, tomatoes and everything. But I never actually did it in a planter bucket or something like that. And that's why right now I'm on hold because I have to get more soil. So I have to find more soil and then I can continue on planting. Luckily, I'm in Florida, so we pretty much can plant year round, which makes it nice. Sheena's Garden, I've never had difficulty growing food ever. Mo, we are in for what the globalists are calling the dark winter. About August, September, it's going to be apparent and we will see the shortages. Get ready, guys. We will survive. Keep prepping. Exactly. I mean, that's just what we have to do, folks. All you have to try to do is make sure that you're prepped and ready and you just keep it that way. Um, Maybe it gets to a point where with prices rising so much and everything else, you have to really sit down. And I have said this before in some of my videos and stuff, but it's so true. If you just sit down and you make out a plan and you make out a budget. Now, my wife does all the budgeting. I go to work, make the money. She does all the budgeting. But I mean, she has a plan all worked out. We know exactly, okay, how much we have to take out of this paycheck for this, and she has all these sub accounts. And I mean, you got to be a Philadelphia lawyer to figure this thing out. I always kid around. If anything ever happened to her, I'm screwed because I'm not going to know where all the money is. I'm just going to the bank. I'm just going to say, okay, look, put it all in one account and I'll deal with it from there. But my thing is, you can start to see when you start writing all this stuff out, you can see what you're spending all your money on. And if your money starts getting really tight because the prices keep going up, if gas prices keep going up, and you start making these plans and you start seeing what you're paying and you start writing this stuff out, then you can say, well, you know what? I don't need to do that. I mean, it comes to a point where you have to make some type of sacrifices. And this way here, boom, you can turn around and, hopefully be able to afford to do something or put more preps away or whatever for the coming storms. Jan, how you doing, Jan? Nice to see you. I'm glad Jan's here, my other moderator. All right, let's see here. Walter, Walter JC says my F-150 has been parked for 2 months. My wife and I are sharing the escape, and that's happened to a lot of people. I was talking with one of my customers the other day, and him and his wife. He just retired. Well, he retired 2 years ago, and he has it's a big old pickup truck. It's got the 6.3 in it, and they bought a camper because they've been traveling, and that's what they wanted to do when they retired. Well, now they're not going anywhere because the pickup truck, regardless if it's pulling the camper or if it's not pulling a camper, he gets 8 miles to the gallon. They went to Oklahoma and back, and it cost him nearly $2,000 just in gas. So at this point in time, they're traveling. It's pretty much done unless they go local in the state of Florida here. Um, it is what it is. So Brian Nelson says, I'm wrong about the oil companies. The prices went up under Obama and they didn't go up under President Trump. Now the prices are going up under Brandon. Stop blaming it on the oil companies. Well, the oil companies are the ones that are posting the profits. Like I did say, it doesn't matter who's in office. The oil companies are getting the profits, not the government. So that's what I'm saying. It's right there in black and white. I mean, you all can go on there and you can read it for yourselves, or if you want, when this is all done, I'll put the link to it right in the description below. But in the meantime, it doesn't matter who's in office. Somebody's got to do something because the oil companies are the one making all the money off us. I'm just saying, folks, you're not paying it to the government. You're paying it to Chevron, to Shell, to Irving, to Mobil. So all these companies, and they're laughing all the way to the bank. Brian and PA, I hate my house with heating oil, and I'm not looking forward to getting my tank topped off. I'm hoping here in the summer the price goes down. I've also been thinking about installing a wood stove. Yes, that would probably be a pretty good idea. This way here, I know the price of wood per cord is actually going up, and but you may have connections or something like that. It'd be something good to have as a backup. All right, because the worst comes to worst, you can always go out and find wood, especially like if you're living in PA. I mean, I don't know where you are, but if you're anywhere outside of a major city, you can still go find wood and bring it back and heat and cook and everything else with a wood stove. The New York redneck. I'm surviving off my preps right now while unemployed. Oh, well, I hope you find a job soon, man. I know up in New York up there, it's just amazing what's going on. And it just seems like everything is kind of like starting there, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't know. Something doesn't smell right up there to me, but that's just my opinion. In my area, it's natural gas, and we're trying in California. Yeah, what did make sense down here is we have natural gas also. And the house we used to live in before we moved here, we had natural gas. Um, the natural gas pipeline goes right down the main road out here, but they didn't put it in. They didn't bring it into this new neighborhood when they built it. Now this neighborhood's only been here for a few years, and why they didn't do that, still beyond me. So I'm thinking the electric company must have had something to do with that. This way here, everybody has to have electric in here instead of having, a natural gas. You can have your hot water, your stove, your dryer. Our electric bill over at the other place was half of what this one is because everything was on natural gas, and our natural gas bill was like $30 a month. And I was like, okay. Sheena's Garden, like a heart attack. I'm still married and medical bills. Ooh, those will get you. Married equals burned. Oh. Lemuel 3, she says, I lost my job at the beginning of COVID, and my preps kept me going for months. See, I mean, they come in handy, folks. There's a lot of people that just don't want to, I don't know, they just don't believe in it. Lead, the other precious metals. Yeah. I was hit by a semi April 4th last summer. A house fire, lost preps, family pets. 5 minutes changed my life. I'm sorry to hear that, Toaster Oven. I really am. I'm really sorry to hear that. Carrie Booth, I have 18 grandchildren. I keep trying to have enough food for them and their mothers and fathers too. It's just me growing. That's a lot of food to grow, but kudos to you for looking out for your family and doing what you can. That's all you can do. Maggie K says we go out like twice a week now. Husband works from home and top off the tank every trip. Yeah, I try to not to let mine go down below a half a tank. That way it's not such a culture shock when you fill it up. If you people really understand what I'm saying. Um, um, it's a really, really this is a bad situation, folks. DC 808 says it's happening in many countries. Australia now, cost of living crisis. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's going to go everywhere. I mean, this is all part of the WHO, and this is all part of the Great Reset they want to do. I truly do believe that that a lot of this stuff is already planned. If you get what I'm saying. Maria, 2024, all businesses from Walmart to Shell Oil is price gouging, and no one is doing anything about it. Yep. All right. Wolverines. Anyone else have fake preppers in their family? Yeah, I mean, you get people that, well, you'll find out, won't you? I mean, I guess if the shit hits the fan and they're knocking on your door, you can always say, hey, where's all these preps you used to talk about? Scroll down through. Rakamas, when is it our turn for the U.S. citizen? Yes, exactly. Um, Makes you wonder. Carolina Shepherd used to be so proud and happy to live here. I'm still proud and happy to live here. I just don't agree with a lot of things that are going on. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion only, until we can come back together as a country, as a whole, and not be so divided on every little issue that's out there, trying to save every little grasshopper that's known to man, until that can actually happen, I don't think this is going to turn around anytime soon. And I don't see an end to any of this. There's too many people that are lining their pockets, and there's too many people that are buying that lining to put in those pockets, if you get what I'm saying. Um, it's, it's when you start really reading into a lot of this stuff like I do, sometimes I just have to get up and walk away and just shake my head. And it's like, did I really just read that? And a lot of the stuff I don't even share on here. I mean, because some of the stuff is just, for one, it's so depressing. For two, it just blows you away. And, for a lot of people, it's just going to tick them off, but I mean, if you all really started doing what, if you got online and started really digging, it's amazing what you can find out. Miss P Kitty 13. You got that right. We are the laughing stock of the entire world now. Yeah, it's kind of seeming that way, isn't it? Um, a lot of people are probably wondering, do I really want to go that route now? Yeah, you know, but for some of them, I guess it's still better than what they have now. Vicky Foreman, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Lucas Chase just subbed to your channel. Well, hey, thank you very much, and welcome to Survival Preparedness for Beginners. This is a great community. If you have questions or something on any of the videos, if you put in your question or something in there, more than likely somebody might try to answer it or something like that and help you out in any way, shape, or form. Toaster oven, it's getting worse. I'm seeing more and more homeless, especially sleeping in cars. Tennessee made a new law. It's a felony now to sleep in public. Yeah, they're trying to do that in a lot of different states. I know down here they put up signs and stuff. They don't want them on the street corners, peddling for money and all this kind of stuff. But there's so many of them now. They're standing right on the street corner, right in front of the sign says that per this ordinance, you could be arrested and everything else, and the cops just drive on by because when you pull up to a street corner, I'll have to see if I can try to videotape it one day and just show you. There'll be one on every corner, on all four corners. All right. Then there's one on in the meridians, walking up and down the cars. I mean, there's like 6 or 7 people working a street corner, you know, an intersection, I should say, not a street corner. And it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. Down here in Florida, it's getting really bad. Um, there's a lot, and I don't know if this is a lot of people coming from the north coming down here that could be homeless because let's face it, folks. I mean, if you're going to be homeless, you might as well live someplace where it's warm, where you're not freezing to death half the time. You know, um, you got a few days out of the year you got to worry about, but rather than that, you can deal with it. Um, but you still have to be able to fend for yourself and find food and shelter. I mean, anywhere there's woods, they're just tearing them down and building homes or businesses. So these people are all being forced out. I know in Osceola County that they are in the process of putting up a couple of different apartment complexes that are made and designed for the homeless to try to get the homeless off the streets. And I do believe that Orange County, which is where Orlando and Walt Disney World and all that is, to give you all a reference, they are trying to do something along that lines also because the price of rent down here, let's just face it, unless you're making really good money, you're going to be living in a cardboard box because especially if you get over into Orlando, anywhere around downtown or anything like that, a one bedroom is going to set you back probably close to 2 grand, in that neighborhood. I mean, that's a lot of money for a one bedroom apartment. All right. Mo, well, I just heard of carjacking in my area today involving a shooting outside of a restaurant. Lawlessness will be abound. Only a matter of time people are holding you at gunpoint for a grocery cart. Yep, I totally do agree. Um, I mean, I it's just very sad what is taking place here, folks. And the only thing that I can say is everybody needs to try to do their part to try to be prepped and try to be ready and try to weather this storm out because in the end, folks, you have to really, really think about what is taking place and you have to plan for your family and you have to have the things that you need to survive on a daily basis because we have no idea how bad this storm is going to be. We have no idea what is going to take place down the road. We see the writing on the wall as far as what the warnings are and what people are saying and everything else, but until it actually happens, we don't know what's going to happen. And then at that point, it could be too late to try to put away any preps that you may be able to do now then. So on that, folks, we are going to get to something exciting, to something really good. And actually, I'm just scrolling through and I don't think the winner is actually even in here. And like I did say, for everybody, we will be having another giveaway next Saturday night. And it will be in what you have to do on the video on Friday. So that's how I'm going to have this play out. On Fridays, you'll have your information of what you have to put in the comments, and then you have to tune in to the live stream on Saturday or rewatch the live stream, if you're working or if you have family functions or something going on. I totally get it, and this way here you can rewatch the live stream, see if you won. I will comment. I do this. I will go in, I will comment on your comment in that video, the winner. And I'll put in there that you won, to contact me through my email. And I do that. And this way here, it gives you an extra opportunity in case maybe you got busy or something, because I know most people will get notified if I comment on your comment on the video. So the winner this week of the Coleman 2-burner stove that will be shipped out is Linda McKibben. You are the winner. And her comment was, I have only been prepping since the initial lockdown for the virus. I have never felt so scared when I went to the grocery store and couldn't even buy pasta sauce, peanut butter, and meat. I decided when food started coming back in the stores, I would never have that panic feeling again. And that was Linda McKibben. You are the winner. And I hope that you do get some enjoyment out of this, and hopefully it will maybe put your preps up a little bit and give you a little bit more security that you have learned from going through a devastating time in our short little past history dealing with Charlie Victor 19. When that all took place in March of 2020, when the grocery stores were completely emptied out. And I'm sure, Linda, you were not the only one that did have that feeling. That is a very, very bad feeling. I cannot imagine the feeling of, especially if you do have kids, or if anyone had kids at that point in time, when you walked into the stores and you saw nothing on the shelves and there was nothing coming in. It had to be the most horrible feeling in the world to feel. And that was what I'm trying to achieve in this channel, is to make sure that maybe the people that are watching right now, you do not have to go through that. You don't have to do any of this. You can be prepared so you don't have to face and have to deal with what Linda just described in her comment. Because that's not what I want. I want everybody to be safe. When the shit hits the fan, I want you all out there to be able to be home, protecting your family, have plenty of supplies, whether it's your food, your water, and everything else. Anything and everything that you can think of, you have plenty of that. And this way here, you will succeed in surviving whatever storm just rolled in to the neighborhood. And so will your family. Because in the end, it's all about you and your family. And once again, that's why I started this channel. And I thank everybody so much for everything that you do for this channel. We are growing in leaps and bounds. I don't know if you've all seen that or not. We are moving on up. And as we grow, I'm going to be probably looking for a few other people to help JT and Jan out, to keep a lot of comments and stuff and people, in check. That's what they're there for. Because I can't do a live stream and do the same thing. I can't read every comment. I do go back through and I read a lot of them once it does load and replay, because it's so hard because mine's just jumping so fast. It's unbelievable. But I would like to thank everybody for everything that you have done for this channel. You're making this such a great channel. This channel is really succeeding in making people's lives better, to make a difference in people's lives. And that's what we're here for. We're here to make a difference in everybody's lives that is part of this channel. I would like to thank everybody for all the likes, for all the subscriptions, and for sharing these videos. Sharing these videos is one of the most important things that you can do out there to help. And share it with your friends, your family, and everybody else, especially if they're on the fence on prepping. If they need a little more information, or if they're just looking for more information on something. I do have a extensive hurricane preparedness playlist. So for all you people that are down here in Florida, if you're new to the area and you've never been through a storm, I suggest you check that one out, because right now I do want to announce, I almost forgot. I did want to announce, if you are living in the state of Florida, do not forget that the tax-free days started. All right. You got 2 weeks to get your supplies. And they added a whole bunch of stuff this year that you can get, from fire extinguishers, carbon dioxide, all different types of things. You just have to go on and you really have to see what the price ranges are, because they did put price. You can't go over a certain price on a lot of different items, but you still can get some of these items, and you can also save money on not paying the tax. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a great time to stock up for hurricane season. If you're living in Florida, it's also a great time for preppers to stock up, because you're saving money. And nowadays, that's the name of the game. And if you live in Georgia or Alabama, um, it may be worth a trip, depending on what you're looking for, to cruise on down to go to Florida and get what you need. You're close enough, can't hurt. Save yourself some money. But I guess it depends on how far you're going to have to drive, and with gas prices. So you're going to have to weigh it out and see, what you're looking at. Just some ideas, who knows? All right. Once again, thank you for all that you do for this channel. Do not forget that there will be another giveaway that will be in this coming Friday's video, and that'll be announced on next Saturday. Once again, Linda McKibben was the lucky winner of the 2-burner Coleman stove. I really do appreciate it. And I will be going in and putting a comment right now on her comment so that she gets notified, and hopefully she reaches out to me. And if not, we'll have 2 giveaways next week. So you all have a great week. You all stay safe. You keep prepping. And just remember, folks, together as this community, we can make it through any storm, working together to help each other be prepped and ready. So until next time, I'll catch all of you on the flip side.